Hi, everybody. It is time for your edition today of the 10 TV Weather Impact Show. It's Meredith and Michael. We're so excited that you're checking in with us, especially now it's Friday Eve. The weekend's a few days away, and we have some pattern changes.
Yeah, some pattern changes in the forecast. I mean, we had some real summer-like weather out there yesterday across the region. I mean, it was not unsummer-like today, but yeah, a little bit different this afternoon.
Humidity, Michael. My hair is screaming at me today. I don't know about yours.
the frizz meter is going up there for sure.
It is. Now, the humidity is going to stick with us in the forecast, but now we have some rain and thunderstorms to work into it. In fact, I want to start off and show everybody at home where we were yesterday. 87 degrees. That was our high. Today, we're down to 80, but you can see we are trading sunshine for storms. And our top weather headlines are going to really be talking about those big changes and how we do have the rain and storms in the forecast both today and Friday. Right now, Saturday is looking dry, so that is good news if you are trying to make some weekend plans. But what is the weather impact for today? Well, it's going to be that threat of showers and thunderstorms. If there are severe storms, it's going to be more of an isolated risk. I do want to put that out there. But at times, we might have some heavy downpours. The thing is, it's going to be more scattered than anything, so it's not like one big line moving through and then it's gone. We could have some little cells that develop and move through at certain points. I'll show you that in the hour by hour in just a bit. But if you are going to the Clippers game tonight, you can see we do have some chances of storms in the forecast. So just be prepared in case there are delays. And just remember, when thunder roars, you want to head indoors because that means lightning is close enough to strike. But you can see temperatures throughout the day really not changing much until we go to after sunset. But even then, we're still expected to stay in the 70s as we go into the second half of the day. But I did mention the severe weather risk, and you can see both today and Friday it's more isolated, which means it's going to be more hit or miss. Not every storm that develops will be severe, but there is that potential, and any storms that do develop that become on the stronger side could have heavy downpours and powerful winds, so just keep that in mind. Let's walk through the hour-by-hour forecast. So this is the afternoon. You can see those showers mainly to our north, but here are those showers and thunderstorms popping up. You can see moving through pretty quickly. Might impact for some spots the commute home, and then it becomes a little more isolated as we go into tonight. But don't be surprised if you hear a rumble of thunder. That could happen overnight with any storms that do develop. And you can see it is more spotty. It is more spread out as we go overnight into Friday morning. We do get a brief break as we start off the morning. So the morning commute for Friday is looking great for us right now. Mix of clouds and sun. I think it'll be mainly cloudy for us today and tomorrow, but don't be surprised if we get little peaks of sun throughout the day. But unfortunately, that also destabilizes the atmosphere and really creates that prime environment for thunderstorms to form. And then you can see again those spotty showers as we go throughout the day. And then in the evening after dark, we could still have some showers and storms that fire up, especially south of I-70 with the current track. Continuing for some of us into the early morning on Saturday, but you can see for wake up, it does look like we will have plenty of sunshine to go around. And then we stay dry for pretty much all day on Saturday, which is good news for us. The next chance of rain, though, is going to come with another storm system that could bring us some rain overnight into Sunday morning. And so keep checking back with us and we'll have the latest update for you. But again, for today's temperatures, you can see we go up in the afternoon, but the rain and storm chances across central Ohio continue. For the extended planner, right now, I'm keeping mostly Sunday dry, but that could still change. As we know, we'll get some better data in the next couple of days to really lock that in. But it does look like another storm system will arrive as we go into Monday and Tuesday. But I think the thing I like about this forecast is versus what a couple weeks ago we had 60s and 50s, and now it's actually acting like summer. In fact, there's only one day on here that's below average.
And I mean, even when we get to that below average point, like you said, we're not going super far below the line. We're going a couple degrees. That's pretty normal. But last
Bring
week,
on summer.
Yeah, last week did not feel like summer.
No, I think I had my hoodie out or a jacket for one of the days. Not my rain jacket, my winter jacket.
Oh, yeah. You know, we do have some storm chances over the next couple of days, but thankfully that threat for severe weather here in central Ohio on the lower end. But, you know, there's actually some new technology that's working to keep the power on even when storms strike. Judith Ratana reports from North Carolina.
I'm Judith Ratana in Garner, North Carolina, where we're taking a look at how the latest technology advancements are keeping the power on during severe storms. For more than 2 decades, Anthony Gibbs has worked to keep the power on at homes across North Carolina.
You can come in on a sunny day and say, you know, hey, I'm going to sit back and nothing's going to happen, and then the whole world explodes. Thunderstorms come through in the evening.
He's known as the mayor at Duke Energy's Power Distribution Control Center. Information on outage maps or that crews are getting in the field all comes from this room. Gibbs is always ready when a major storm hits.
You may get a chance to eat and you may not, but you come in, you know you're going to do 12 hours, and we know we got to get the power back on as soon as possible.
Advancements like self-healing technology are helping his team do that. You can think of self-healing technology as a GPS for the power grid. It can automatically detect an issue with power and then find a new route for that power, usually in under a minute.
Even with all the years that I have, every time I see it operate and you see one switch open and one switch closed, it's like, wow, it's like the first time you've seen it.
Duke Energy spokesperson Jeff Brooks telling us the system doesn't take a fallen tree off a line, but it can cut down response times.
But the benefit of the technology is it gives us a near real-time blueprint of our electric grid so that we can see at any one point in time what's going on the system. And after a major storm, that blueprint is essential to help rebuild the system.
This, paired with other technology, is helping Duke Energy be more prepared for a storm than ever before.
We have advanced damage modeling systems that can tell us we need to shift resources and crews to these different locations. And this facility is pivotal on any day of the week.
As we move into the future, technology is only expected to advance further.
I'm Judith Ratana in Garner, North Carolina.
Today is a major deadline for farmers across the state. Corn actually needs to be planted by today in order to be covered by insurance. Many farmers say it's not up to them when they plant. All depends on the weather.
Our cool weather has really delayed things. And the rain showers, we lost a good part of May again, but things are a little delayed because of the cool weather.
Most farmers do have their cornfields already planted, but rain that could come in the next few days here could create fears that some might have to replant. Farmers can still plant corn after June 5th. They'll just lose 1% of the insurance guarantee per day.
Well, and another sign of summer, the temperature is rising, which means you need to think about safety before heading into the water this summer. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources is loaning out free life jackets. This is great. They have a variety of sizes for both kids and adults, and they are lending them to people at over 30 different state parks. According to national data, 75% of boating deaths are due, unfortunately, to drowning. And in nearly all of those cases, the person was not wearing a life jacket. So make sure that you get one.
Yeah, absolutely, especially if they're free to pick up.
Seriously, I think I'm going to go get one.
I say not a bad thing just to have on hand if you might head to the water at some point.
Especially if you have a boat, to make sure you've got all those regulations and whatnot.
Absolutely. And even as those temperatures rise, we're not quite out of allergy season yet. You know, it's pretty much been in place out there for a while. And you really probably notice some of those little bitty specks of white drifting through the air.
I can feel it in my throat right now just talking about it. Well, in case you don't know, it's cottonwood, and it's making quite a fluffy entrance this season. You'll also appreciate that cottonwood usually does not impact your allergies. Health experts say that the stuff floating in the air is too big to trigger your symptoms, but the problem is the pollen you can see piling up on the cars. Doctors say overlapping seasons and unpredictable weather are making this allergy season actually worse.
It's not your imagination. We are definitely seeing more pollen. There's a lot of moisture around, so we see more mold spores too that people can be allergic to.
Now, health experts say your best defense against allergies is actually to take your antihistamines. You can also limit the amount of pollen in your home by making sure you take a shower before bed, and also to keep your windows closed.
Yeah, all good advice there. And you know, those cottonwood seeds, while they may be too big to impact your allergies, they can actually do some harm to your summer plans out there.
Interesting.
Involves your air conditioner. Derek and Nick from Minneapolis, they have a report on just what those seeds can actually do to those cooling systems in the summer.
Well, it's that time of year. The fluffy, the annoying, and the first sign of summer. Cottonwood seeds are drifting through the air like allergenic snow. And while they may look harmless, they can do more than just make a mess.
One of my mentors always told me a clean machine is a happy machine. Periodically, we're going to have some cottonwood seed kind of flying through the air right now. And cottonwood seed is pretty hard on air conditioners.
While we may only see it in our gutters or lawns, Chad Needham with Standard Heating and Air sees the buildup in our HVAC systems.
There's actually a lot of cottonwood on the back here. So the damage that can be caused by cottonwood is typically, it creates high pressure. It can't get rid of its heat. Fan motor up top and the compressor motor down below will both work harder if the cottonwood seed plugs this thing up.
To prevent that, pros recommend using a basic garden hose to rinse the unit, never a pressure washer.
So as you can see, I'm just trying to keep the angle steep. Once you're sure that you're not going to drive anything into the coil, it is not a bad idea to then spray through the coil. I don't want people using pressure washers, brushes, any of that stuff isn't helpful. The goal is to get that down to the bottom and have the unit breathing.
So whether you're biking a trail or tending to the lawn, be happy it's temporary and isn't the other falling white stuff. In St. Louis Park with photojournalist Nick Luneman, Derek James, WCCO News.
Good advice there.
That's really good advice. And, you know, being a homeowner, like, you don't think of that sometimes.
Yeah. And, well, speaking of things that doesn't really affect your home, but something you were certainly thinking about last week, the haze.
Oh, my goodness.
It was a lot of it over central Ohio. And we were saying that it was coming from those wildfires up in Canada, but I don't know how much of a view we actually got of those fires. But this is the cause up there, and thousands of acres actually burning up in Canada. This was up in Manitoba, showing those fires and just how many acres have been burning. We'll switch views there. That's what it looks like closer to the fire.
Wow.
I remember at one point last year, the fires got so bad that views like this made their way down into the U.S. So hopefully they don't get that bad, but certainly no surprise there why it's been impacting our skies here down in Ohio.
It's definitely scary. I remember, what was it, 2023, when we had like New York City, major cities, Philadelphia, their skies just turned orange. And thankfully we didn't get that bad, but you certainly had a tough time, you know, seeing some of the buildings. That it just looked gross outside yesterday.
There's a one point, I mean, not with this year, but with the ones that we were talking about in 2023, or 2023, 2024 kind of time frame, it had made the air quality so bad. It was actually some places in the U.S. had the worst air quality in the world, I think, at that point.
That's right.
And,
I do remember that.
Yeah, it was a bad day to be outside.
Well, thankfully we've got rain, so that's going to be helping things out as far as, you know, the allergies and the smoke. So
get all that out of here.
Yes, go out.
Goodbye.
well, that's it for your Weather Impact Show here on 10 TV Plus. Coming up later tonight, we have Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martson with the latest on the rain and storm chances. But until then, you can catch more news weather online at 10tv.com. We hope you have a great afternoon.
See you.